Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Tim and I want to welcome you all to Roots of the Paranormal. And a big welcome to The Vault Show. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. And also too, if you want to see some more content and want to join me in my venture, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. In this video, I'm going to talk about Hotel Monte Vista. This hotel is said to be reaming with paranormal activity. That it's said that many guests who step foot in this building can sense some sort of energy. Even non-believers has said that they felt uneasy in certain parts of this building. All right, now this building was built around 1900 and it started out as a boarding house. It wasn't until the 1940s was when they went on ahead and officially turned it into a 5-star hotel. And this hotel has attracted many celebrities, and it still does to this day. And these celebrities has had their share of paranormal experiences. One in particular, Boy Phantom. All right, this is the one that John Wayne experienced. But he kept getting phone calls, knocking on the door, etc., etc. So finally, he looked out the peephole and he saw what looked like a gentleman knocking on the door and saying room service, and he had on a red coat, one of them black hats and white gloves. So finally John Wayne was like, look, I don't want any room service, I just want to be left alone right now. But the knocking kept on being persistent, so he finally opened up the door to confront him. No one was there. Very strange story. There's another one that takes place in the boiler room. And this one is the crying of a small baby. Many workers has seen and heard a baby. One is probably the creepiest one. Now, there's also 3 rooms, which I'm going to share with you guys. You have room 305, you have room 306, room 220. It is said that these 3 rooms is the most severe when it comes to paranormal activity. If you was to ever stay in one of these 3 rooms, your chances of seeing and experiencing the paranormal activity is very good. And this is the story of Hotel Monte Vista. Welcome to Hotel Monte Vista, the home of many spirits. Hotel Monte Vista is a well-known tourist hotspot and labeled as a historical landmark. Many guests enjoy staying at this lovely 5-star hotel, but they do not stay alone. It is said that this hotel is also the home of many spirits who has definitely overstayed their welcome. You have room 306. It is said that 2 prostitutes was brought over through the underground tunnel system and was snuck into the room. After the man had his fun with them, he brutally murdered both of them by suffocating them and then threw their bodies out of the 3rd floor window. Legend says that anyone that stays in room 306 will begin to hear faint wailing and even soft screams of torture at a certain time of the night. But however, if you are a male you will experience the worst of the paranormal activity in that room. You would wake up to the feeling of hands wrapping around your neck, and you will begin to feel the sensation of not being able to breathe. The next room is 305. This room is the home of the old lady, who was a longtime renter of this particular room. She used to sit in her rocking chair and just stare out the window all day, barely moving. No one knows exactly why she would do this. Some would speculate that she lost her husband during World War I, and she simply lost her will to live. Others speculate that she would sit there patiently, waiting on her true love all the way until her death. Regardless, this room is said to be the most terrifying, according to the many guests that have stayed in this room. Supposedly, they have left the original rocking chair in the room, and at certain times of the day, it would begin to rock back and forth on its own. But at night, this entity is all but peaceful. Many guests has woken up in the middle of the night to loud banging coming from the closet, and even loud tapping just above the bed frame. Whether this is the old lady is up to debate. But one thing is certain, this entity does not like guests. This next room is the most strangest one, and also the most terrifying one of them all. This is room 220. The room of the infamous Meat Man. Many guests has been given this room to stay in, but many has always either checked out early or has requested a different room due to the heavy activity that occurs in this room. No one knows who the Meat Man was, but that he was a butcher that lived in the 1920s. He was another tenant that lived in the building, and he always brought his work home with him. He would chop up the remaining of the meat that he couldn't finish at work on the dresser, and he would hang up the meat on the chandelier. No one knew anything about this individual, not even his name. No one knew he was depressed most of his life. He ultimately committed suicide by hanging himself on the chandelier next to the meat he hung up. He remained there for many days, until the owner of the building started receiving complaints of a terrible odor coming from room 220. And that is when they found his hanging corpse next to the rotten meat. To this day, it is said when you stay in room 220, you will hear the sounds of a butcher knife striking the dresser, and you will even get the sensation of a butcher shop smell. But if you are really lucky, you just might feel the cold hands rubbing the back of your neck. And that, my friends, is the story of Hotel Monte Vista. This kind of reminds me of the time when we stayed in a haunted hotel, or at least it was supposedly haunted. Unfortunately, we didn't really experience anything, even though it was a very old building. But we just experienced like maybe some creaks in the walls and stuff like that. Thought it might have been something, but it wasn't. Old building, you're gonna get some creaky noise and stuff like that. Definitely wasn't anything like the Meat Man or the old lady, but that would have been pretty cool. But If I was ever given the opportunity to stay at Hotel Monte Vista, hell yeah, I would definitely do it. In fact, I would personally request room 306, 305, or 220. That would probably more than likely be 220, but I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool. I love stuff like that, and I definitely would love to experience something like that. But anyways, guys, this leads up to the question of the day. Has any one of you ever stayed in a haunted hotel? If you did, what type of experiences did you guys have? Tell me about it in the comments. But anyways, guys, I am out of time. If you all enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time in Roots of the Paranormal. Peace.